This was why they'd taken the bus to the east side of the city and then up Kingsland Road, with its busy mix of shops, cafes, factories and cinemas. This was where they would live for the foreseeable future, and from where they would go out into the local community as district nurses. Alice found she was tracing with her forefinger the shape of the Queen's Nurse badge that she wore on a cord around her neck. For a moment her nerve failed her. Would she be good enough? Would she live up to the trust of her tutors and the expectations of her patients? She'd trained for years, first as a general nurse in a hospital, then on the specialist course to become a district nurse. But there had always been someone else there to guide her. Now she would be out there, on the district as it was called, on her own, in her patients' houses rather than on wards, relying on her own skill and judgment to cope with whatever was thrown at her. Would she be able to do it? Edith, who often relied on her friend to take the lead, now stepped forward. "Come on then. Let's see what this place is like on the inside. Hope we get rooms on the top story." She glanced up at Alice. "We'll be all right, just you see." "Of course we will." Alice gave herself a mental shake. "They wouldn't have passed us otherwise." And with that she picked up her heavy case, for what she hoped would be the last time for a very long while, strode up the steps, and rapped sharply on the glossy navy paint of the door. The difference between the bright daylight and the gloom of the corridor made them blink, and Alice at first almost didn't see the young woman who let them in. She swiftly led them down the dim hallway and up a set of stairs, turning and opening a door, with a shy murmur of, "She's been expecting you," before vanishing again. Sunshine flooded in through a large window, falling on a sturdy but well-worn wooden desk covered in cardboard folders, with an equally solid-looking wooden bookcase behind it. Alice had just enough time to notice the familiar spines of textbooks she had studied when a student nurse, before a bustling woman in uniform shot across from the far corner of the room and started speaking at top speed. Her hair was red as copper, her face was sprinkled with freckles, and she was even shorter than Edith. Alice had the distinct impression that here was somebody who hardly ever sat still. Keen energy radiated from her as she waved them inside the office. "Come in, make yourselves comfortable. Nurses Leake and Gillespie, I take it." She looked at them brightly. "Yes," Alice stuttered, momentarily taken aback by the woman's strong Scottish accent. "I'm Alice Lake." "Then you must be Edith Gillespie," the woman said, sounding delighted as she took them across to the slightly faded sofa on the far side of the room. "I'm Fiona Dewar, and I'll be your superintendent. Sit, and take the weight off your feet. There'll be time enough for standing very shortly. Take every opportunity for a nice sit-down in this business, that's what I say, because who knows when you'll get another chance. You'll be rushing around soon enough, I'll be bound." She took her seat behind the desk and pulled one of the folders towards her. "Gladys will bring us a cup of tea. That's the young lady who let you in. She doesn't say much to start with, but you'll get to know her all the same, I'm sure. So, now, your previous matron has said some very impressive things about you, Miss Lake." She turned a page in the file. "Most promising. You weren't inclined to go back to your hometown then?" She looked up, and, although her grey eyes were kind, Alice realised they missed nothing. Hastily, she cleared her throat. "No, I did my specialist training in London and I grew to like it. Besides, it means I can work with Edith. We work well as a team." She smiled at the superintendent, hoping there would be no further questions in this delicate area. She had no intention of revealing her real reason for staying away from Liverpool. That was her own private business, and it would stay that way if she had anything to do with it. Edith beamed, and the superintendent turned her gaze towards her. "Ah, yes, Miss Gillespie. It's always good to have a friend to hand, especially when you're in a responsible..."